years. And our goal is to provide services, programs, and referrals that help you age at home longer, happier, and healthier. So as the volunteer director, we have a wonderful volunteer program. We have quite a few of them. In fact, we have a sponsor for 2 of AmeriCorps Seniors National Service Programs. I'm the project director for the Retired and Senior Volunteer Program, where you come to us, tell us you want to volunteer out in the community, and maybe for one of the wonderful programs we have at AgingNext, or we'll send you out to one of our community partners. We just want to make sure you're out there helping out, providing service, and staying active while you do it. Our other national service program, our care partners are part of the AmeriCorps Seniors Senior Companion Program, where we have senior volunteers who provide friendship and companionship to other seniors who may need a little help not being lonely at home. We all know that loneliness and isolation are 2 of the biggest reasons why we age faster, are unhappy, and start to have our health falter. So if you are thinking of retiring, recently retiring, or even been retired for a little while and are finding that you're just not as active as you want to be, that you're a little lonelier than you want to be, well, you need to fix that. And another way to do that, besides volunteering, is through our AgingNext Village. We have a wonderful social network of people who live in surrounding communities. We do activities together each month. We do lunches and dinners. Last month, we went for a walk to the botanical gardens with monthly meditation. What's really neat, if you have a special hobby or skill that you do, we want you to bring that to the village too as a member. We have groups, we have a book club. We have an ancestry group that are all learning how to do their family tree together. We have all sorts of really neat ways for you to engage with new people and to improve that socialization. Don't be lonely, don't be isolated. Make new friends because you'll live longer and you'll be happier. And AgingNext is here to help you do that. If you're not familiar with us, please look us up, AgingNext.org. Okay, so today we're going to make dessert. Last time we met, I made empanadas. A lot of moving pieces, lots to do. I hope some of you had a chance to make them, or maybe as winter comes up, you don't want to turn your oven on, maybe you'll make some this winter. So when they said, let's make a dessert this time, that was the first thing I thought of. I don't want to turn the oven on in the middle of August. So this is one of my family's favorite desserts. We've been making this for 3 generations. I hope that it'll last for a 4th. And here's how I know how old it is, because here's the original Joys of Jello cookbook from my mom's house that we still have. It is from the late 1960s. She's fairly certain that's when she bought it. You can see the cover could use a little bit of love. And you can even see right here, I don't know if you can check, all the handwritten notes for the recipes that we love in this book. So this is a family favorite of mine. I know when you hear Jello dessert, sometimes you think, oh no, Jello. Not this time. We're married, our spouses, our kids, we've all come to love this. When we do our birthdays together, we always have pizza, but the birthday person gets to pick their dessert. And I will tell you, 99% of the time, the person in the family will say, can we have the lemon dessert? And this is what we make. So in the Jello book, we call it lemon crumb in our family, but that didn't really sound that appetizing on an advertisement. But it's called lemon crumb because it has a graham cracker crumb crust. Here's how easy it is. It is 5 ingredients: graham crackers, evaporated milk, lemon Jello, 2 tablespoons of butter, and the juice of 2 lemons. That's it. It is an overnight dessert because it is a no-bake dessert. Does need to set up overnight in the fridge. So let's get started. First thing we're going to do, we're going to make Jello. Everybody knows how to make Jello, pretty easy. Small box of lemon Jello here. But we're going to make one little addition to our Jello for this recipe. So I'm going to put in my Jello. I already have my water boiled here on the stove. I'm going to add my boiling water. And I'm going to dissolve that up, just like you normally do with any kind of Jello. What I'm going to do here, though, is what I've already done is I have zested and I have juiced 2 lemons. And I have about 1/3 of a cup of lemon juice here all ready to go with my lemons. Because we're gonna be making our fluff by using the evaporated milk. So it's gonna dilute the flavoring that you use for your Jell-O. And I like a little zip. So I have 1/3 of a cup of lemon juice, but 1/4 to 1/3 of a cup is pretty much what you wanna go with, but you don't wanna miss this step because you really won't get any of that lemon zing that you want. So now I've got my Jell-O dissolved. So I've got some ice cold water here. I've got to add dessert. I'm just gonna add water to my lemon juice, add in my cold water, and I'm gonna add in my zest. I'm gonna give that stir. Now, I'm gonna go do some laundry. Maybe I'll do some ironing because I'm gonna put my Jell-O in the fridge and I'm gonna let it not set to where I want to eat it, but I need it to start getting a little congealed. 1.5 to 2 hours is usually the sweet spot for this. So I'm going to put this one aside and I'm going to put the one I made this morning out. Okay. So I made this one just about 1.5 hours or so ago. It is not ready to eat, but you can see it's starting to get goopy, and that's what I'm looking for. It's perfect. And that was a really close call, folks. So while that's there, next thing I'm going to do is make my crust. Pretty simple. I have taken a couple of my little containers of my graham crackers. I took my rolling pin, put them in a plastic bag, and made my graham cracker crumbs. Of course, you can buy graham cracker crumbs, but then you don't have any leftover crackers to eat later on. So I always suggest buying the box. You can put them in your food processor, but that's one more thing for me to wash. Since I used a plastic bag, my rolling pan is still clean. I can put that right away, and I've got my crumbs. What I've done is I've taken out about 1/4 cup, just scoop some out of there. We're going to sprinkle that on top of our dessert. I have 2 tablespoons of butter that I've melted. Just going to put that right in there. Going to mix up my crumbs and butter so it's nice and coated. And I have a 9x11 Pyrex. Simple, simple. I'm going to put my crumbs in. Now you're going to want to mix up your butter in there a little bit longer than I did, but I'm going to make it quick so we can go about our day. So for me, when I press out my crumbs, I'm just going to use the bottom of my Pyrex. Anything flat will work, and I'm just going to press those down. Put a little bit of pressure on it because I want it to set up in the fridge. And then normally just kind of look to see if I have an even all around. Got it nice and pressed out. This is just going to go in the refrigerator so that my butter can actually coagulate a little bit and get that hardened. Now, I know a lot of times when you make a cookie crumb crust using orange or graham crackers, you bake it. This one we don't have to. This is a completely refrigeratable dessert. The butter's going to tighten up those crumbs in the refrigerator when it gets cold. And it is a lemon crumb dessert, so it should be just a little bit more crummy than a regular crust. Okay, now to our filling. This is the good part. Now, evaporated milk is the next ingredient. So when you get your evaporated milk home, put it in the refrigerator. So your evaporated milk has all the milk solids and fats removed from it. So it's not going to turn into whipped cream. It's not going to whip like that. What we're trying to do is get a lot of air into it. We're going to get it fluffy. But if you're trying for whipped cream, not going to happen. So what I do when I get ready to make my lemon crumb in the morning, I put it in the freezer. So this has been in the freezer for just about 15 minutes. I took it from the fridge, put it in the freezer, because the colder it is, the better it is. I'm gonna whip this up using my hand mixer, probably 2 to 5 minutes. I think it probably depends on your mixer and actually how cold you got your thing. Don't want it frozen, I just want it nice and cold. Okay. So I'm gonna mix this with my hand mixer on high for, again, 2 to 3 minutes. I know you're not gonna be able to hear me well over it, so I'm gonna put myself on mute while I do this step. And we have a really neat event coming up. We are celebrating the 20th anniversary. We're honoring the 20th anniversary of 9/11 in this September. It's 20 years. And AgingNext has a special event where we hope you'll join us for. Zyra's gonna tell you just a little bit about that.
Hey everyone, like Stacy said, we will be having an amazing event. It's our National Day of Service, honoring those who we lost on 9/11. It will be Friday, September 10th from 9 a.m. to 2 p.m. We will be having a blood drive. Registration is required. So if you're interested, please give us a call at our office, 909-621-9900. We will also be having 3 disaster workshops if you're interested. We will also be having a workshop where we can make a vial of life. I don't know if all of you know what a vial of life is, but it's basically a container where you have your emergency information that is really important to have when something happens, and it has all of your information and your prescriptions. Also, learn about disaster preparedness, medical fraud alerts, and Medicare enrollment information. So please come down to our office at AgingNext, 141 Spring Street in Claremont. And if you would like more information, give us a call, 909-621-9900.
Pero ¿tienes cheques?
Good timing, Zara. So as you can see here, it's about tripled or quadrupled in size, and that's what we're looking for. Got a lot of air in there, but it's not going to get any thicker than that. I just want a really nice foamy fluff. So next up, I'm going to add in my Jello. Remember, it's not quite ready to eat Jello, but it's not fully liquid either. That's the perfect consistency. I will admit, we make this a lot, and I have left my Jello in the refrigerator too long, like the full length of time, to where I've gone off and done something and forgotten about it. It will work if your Jello is overly hard, but this next process where I'm going to combine the Jello and the evaporated milk, it takes a really long time because you got to get those chunks of Jello to get smooth back out. So this is the perfect consistency. So now this is just going to take me about 30 seconds to incorporate these together. And that's it, folks. We have our Lemon Delight lemon crumb dessert ready to go here. I'm just going to pour this into my crust. I'm going to take my sprinkles, my graham cracker cups that I had left. Now, This, because of the combination of the evaporated and milk and the Jell-O, it's not gonna be like a 4-hour Jell-O time. This is really an 8-hour to overnight time. Can you eat it in 4 to 6 hours? Yes, but you're not gonna have that really good, solid piece of dessert that you're looking for. So planning ahead on this dessert is key. And here it is. Simple 5 ingredients, easy to put together. Some people think, oh, I have to remember to do it a day ahead. But sometimes if you're planning something or having people over, a day ahead dessert is the best thing you can do because you are done with it the night before and you have something perfectly yummy to have the next day. Let's get a piece out and see. So it is going to, first piece for any kind of dessert, you know, is always the tough one. Now, I like to say light and fluffy dessert, but when you use the word light, it tends to indicate a diet dessert. And while we didn't add any extra sugar or anything, you know that Jell-O does have a great deal of sugar in it. But other than the Jell-O, there's really nothing to worry about in here. You can see here, it is super light and fluffy. The crumbs are on it, and I am going to. Because it's cold, it is so refreshing. You cannot miss the lemon juice or the lemon zest, folks. So that pop of lemon that comes out by adding that just makes this the perfect summer dessert. For us, it's a year-round dessert. Your birthday rolls around, you know you're going to get a lemon crumb dessert. But for anybody who wants to make this, we're going to be posting that recipe this afternoon. And I will be emailing it out today and tomorrow to anybody who attended and would like that recipe. Does anybody have any questions? I'm going to take another bite then. We invite you, if you're new to our organization, please go to AgingNext.org, find out a little bit more about us. If you're newly retired or been retired for a while and need some new activities, give us a call. Let us find that perfect fit for you. And we would love for you to come out on Friday, September 10th to join us for our 9/11 National Day of Service. Thank you so much for joining us today.
I have a question.
Oh, sure.
Have you ever tried with a different milk? Can I use a regular milk instead?
No, because the purpose is for it not to get into a heavy cream.
Oh, okay.
So now, you know, we don't use, I'm not a big almond milk user. Anything that you can get air into though, if you can get it fluffy, but if you can get it to volumize, would probably work. I mean, you know, the flavor is going to be a little bit different because all the fats are removed from here. So it's taking away, it's not going to get too hard by using, that's why we're using the evaporated milk, because we don't want a hard dessert. You want it to stay fluffy. And if you use something that has milk fats in it, it's going to get hard like butter. Thank you all so much.
Thanks, Stacy. Always great to be part of Stacy's Kitchen. Yay. And I hope you're bringing that to work to share with your very, very, very nice staff members.
My hungry staff, wonderful, Floyd. Thank you so much. And we hope to see you back again soon. Thank you, everybody, for joining us today.